Most people think that pro gamblers have some sort of secret formula to pick winners, but that's totally wrong. The truth is, pros have a strict set of rules that they never break. So today, I'm revealing 7 sports betting rules that the professionals live by, and why ignoring them will keep you broke. Starting with the first. Now, most gamblers follow the action. Saturday arrives with a full Premier League schedule and the urge is to fire off 3 or 4 football bets just to feel involved. But here's the reality. In sports betting, that's exactly why Bet365 and other big names make billions. Sports betting is a zero-sum game. Every single bet that you place is either positive expected value or negative expected value. And for the one guy in the comments that's saying, well, actually you could have a neutral value bet, that's true, but it's still a negative value bet, it just wastes your time. To the pros, betting without an advantage is not fun. It's just handing cash to the bookies. So they're ruthless. If a price doesn't present clear and definable value, they don't touch it. I'll go deeper on what that looks like in just a moment, but for now, you just need to understand that by passing on weak bets, they preserve their bankroll for when genuine value actually appears. So the first rule is simple. Treat a no-bet decision as a win. Every time you skip a bad line, you're protecting your bankroll for a higher leverage moment. But even if you do only bet when you should, there's still one critical mistake that almost everyone makes. And that is rule number 2. Pundits on Sky Sports News and casual punters approach sports betting like a prediction game, but it's not. Not at all. Now, this very channel has seen thousands of comments like this over the years. So many struggle to grasp this, so listen in carefully. No matter how confident you are, if the odds don't justify the mathematical risk, you'll lose money in the long term. The question shouldn't be who's going to win. The pros know that it should be, is this price bigger than its real world risk? Bookmakers like Bet365 and William Hill thrive on this kind of flawed thinking. As a simple example, imagine 2 evenly matched Premier League sides are playing each other. Let's say it's Brentford and Brighton. If they're truly 50-50, their fair odds should be 2.0 in decimal odds each time. That's evens in fractions. But let's say Bet365 are actually offering Brighton at 2.2. That price implies only a 45% chance of winning, when in reality their chance is actually 50%. So that's 5% of positive value for anyone striking a bet at the 2.2 price. Now flip it around. If Betfair is offering Brighton at 1.8 in this same situation, the price says that they've got a 55% chance of winning. But they haven't. So betting at 1.8 is throwing away money over the longer term. For clarity, that second scenario is a 5% negative value bet. In plain terms, if the price pays you more than it should, you've got value. And if it pays less, then you're being ripped off. And this is the key difference, because casual hunters pick the team that they fancy. Professionals pick the price. They compare the odds of the true probability and only back when the numbers are in their favour as per rule number 1. In fact, this is exactly what betting companies like Bet365, Betfair and William Hill do every single day. It's about maths, not the moment. So here's the takeaway. Forget the team, forget the player, focus on the price. If the odds don't exceed reality, don't bet. In sports betting, value is the only thing that pays, although you can multiply that value if you're smart, as I'll explain now in rule number 3. Even if you find good value bets, poor staking can wreck your bankroll faster than anything else. However, on the flip side, a good staking plan can also provide massive leverage and multiply your advantage. It's a really big deal. Now, I think it's safe to say that staking amongst casual punters is chaotic at best. One day it's a tenner for fun, the next day is half their account's balance on a short-priced banker. Social media is full of ridiculous examples like this. It's a win-win game for attention seekers. If it wins, their timeline is full of boom and told you so, but if it loses, there's a dramatic I can't believe I lost post. But in truth, pro gamblers wouldn't dream of behaving like this. They approach things differently. They think of stakes as multipliers of value. If the edge is small, they bet small. If the edge is larger, they bet bigger. Many sharp bettors use formulas like the Kelly criterion because it makes mathematical sense. This way, they maximise the returns without being wiped out by a bad run of luck. So the lesson here is obvious. Stake consistently in line with value, not emotionally. Never go all in, never double down on chasing a loss, and never bet more than the bet is actually worth. Discipline with your stake sizes isn't boring, it's paramount. And so the next step is to exploit the cracks, which is where rule number 4 comes in. When you wholly accept rules 1 and 2, you can quickly realize that making big money fast is all about finding market inefficiencies and loopholes, which also means sticking with one bookmaker is a mistake, yet amateurs always do it. They have the Bet365 app on their phone and they take whatever price or bonus is given to them. Getting the best prices with brands like BettingAsia or by using betting exchanges is the easiest solution, although it doesn't mean their best price in every case. Pro gamblers don't waste money. They're all about exploiting efficiency and playing right up to the edges across hundreds of bets, because then small differences add up to thousands in profit. Compound growth matters, so be efficient. Target high value prices, slow price changes, and sportsbook inefficiencies. Convenience is costly, so shop around. Keep accounts with multiple firms, check exchanges like Betfair, and never settle for the first price that you see. The cracks are there. Pros make their living by finding them and then repeatedly prizing them open. Now, I think really a lot of gamblers are hooked on the feelings rather than the logic. They scroll through Twitter, they listen to pundits and throw money at random distribution. It feels exciting, but in sports betting, that chaos guarantees one thing: long-term losses. Without a framework, every bet is just another coin flip dressed up as insight. Preview nights are a great example of this. Fans gather around and lean in for the latest hot take. If it wins, for a few seconds at least, they feel like a genius. But the problem? There's no process, no track record, no edge or advantage. This repeat cycle has bookies like Bet365 cleaning up, while players are left chasing their tail. And here's the dirty secret: most tipsters don't even follow their own advice. That's why pros ignore them completely and take a near opposite approach. They build repeatable betting systems based on logic and value. Arbitrage betting is a prime example. There's a video linked in the description down below that shows you exactly how that works, including an example for those who are interested. Now, trading Betfair's exchange movements based on live data is another. Again, there's a video linked about that down there too. The point here is it's systematic and logic driven, not emotional. Pros test, track and refine, and then after a large enough sample, they know if their angle works or not. If it does, they scale it, and that's a big difference. Systems take emotion out of the game. It's about running a process where the maths proves itself over time. So stop chasing random selections, start building logical systems. Choose one edge, track it over a meaningful sample, and let the numbers guide you. But make sure you bear in mind rule 6 when doing it. Losing streaks will happen. However, panicking and attempting to claw back mistakes is a massive mistake. Poor reactions are deadly because variance isn't failure, it's part of the game. Imagine backing an underdog at 5.0 when they genuinely have a 30% chance of winning. On paper, that's profitable in the long run, but in practice, you may even lose 7 or 8 bets in a row before the maths catches up. A casual punter sees that and runs around thinking their system's broken. A pro recognises it for what it is. Variance is doing its thing. This is why Betfair exchange traders and sharp bettors are obsessed with sample sizes. They don't judge a strategy based on 10 bets or even 50. They look at hundreds, sometimes thousands, to see the real edge. The losses along the way are just noise. And because they size their bets accordingly, they can survive through the rough patches without going broke. The truth is, variance cuts both ways. Just as a bad run doesn't prove you're doomed, a lucky hot streak doesn't prove that you're a genius either. Only long-term tracking does. So keep spreadsheets, measure returns, and stay consistent regardless of short-term swings. The key takeaway is to stop judging yourself in days or even weekends. Judge yourself over weeks and seasons. Variance is inevitable with sports betting, but if you've got real value in your bets, the maths will win over time. And rule 7 will carry you through it all. Despite the constant promises of making money, gambling is sold as entertainment. However, Bet365, Sky Bet, Betfair and companies like this are not operating for fun. They treat betting as a business, and you should too. Professional gamblers strip out every ounce of emotion. They don't chase and they certainly don't take risks. It's what makes them professional. Detailed results are kept, costs, turnover, profits, expenses, the lot. They know exactly where they are now and where they're going. On Betfair's exchange, sharp traders treat odds like stock prices, entering only when there's value and exiting when the numbers move. The process is cold, rational and repeatable, and to be honest, quite boring too. Why? Because businesses survive on consistency, not adrenaline and fun. A pro sees their bankroll as working capital. The aim is to protect it, grow steadily and reinvest. So stop asking if a bet will be fun, start asking if it would make sense if this were your business. If the answer's no, see rule 1. But knowing the rules alone is only the start. Next, you need to see how pros actually build strategies around them. So watch this video here, it shows structure behind winning betting strategies.